Hello, and welcome back at CoraL League. We got some spicy river games for you guys today. First up, we're going to have the clash between Ascension and Potato Esports. This will be the first time we've seen Ascension play. So it'll be very interesting to see whereabouts they are in terms of strength rank. They're up against the current last place team, Potato Esports, who are still looking to get that first point on the board. So very important game for them. I think if they lose this, it might lock them out of playoffs. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, they're in a very awkward spot basically. So that's definitely one to look out for. I'm also just fixing some stuff in the background while this is going on. So suddenly stop talking for a second. I'm not dying. That's just happening. Having to do everything at once. A bit much. But then after we've got Ascension versus Potato Esports, we also have Fuji Assassins versus NSG. So NSG Niflheim, we saw earlier them take a fairly strong win against LPM. And this is games that they played against Fuji Assassins. These are both VOD games. I know the first one doesn't say VOD on it, but it is a VOD game, trust me. Yeah, so some very important games here. This could decide who will be getting that first place and getting the second. Of course, NSG still have quite a few games to play. We haven't seen them versus Girl yet, which is quite an important one. Girl, they like to pick their troll comps in game one. Usually lose game one. Sometimes they do pick it up with a win. And then they like to bring out a bit more of their usual comp in game two, and they usually win game two. But that'll be a very interesting one to watch, especially since I have some insider knowledge of the outcome of that one. I've heard that game one apparently was so bad that nothing could be learned from it. So we'll take a look at game one. I'm looking. That should be very interesting if we do get to watch that today. How long these go and how much time we have. But I think game one between Girl and Niflheim should be very interesting. I'm expecting a perfect or almost perfect game from Niflheim, considering they were complaining that they couldn't learn anything. Spoiler. It's not a it's not a game, but that's what it should be. It should be if they're willing to complain about it. But we'll see. Anyway, so today, Ascension versus Potato Esports. Ascension did have a sub for this. They have Doobie, our own mod, playing in the support position for them, rounding out their team. And I mean, we'll get straight into the first game, because there's no real sense in waiting. Ascension, of course, will want to have a nice strong game here to show off how strong they actually are. Did NSG say they said they learnt nothing from game one against Girl? That it was a pointless game, which I can understand the Girl troll their game ones, but I've seen the post game screen and I think that's a bit cocky to say nothing can be learnt, because the post game screen of course shows kills and objectives and learn something from that game. But anyway, we're looking at Ascension versus Potato Esports. Ascension on the blue side, Potato Esports on the red side. So Ascension, they have Mundo in the top lane, a Graves jungle, Victor mid, and then Jin Xerath bot lane, a very pokey bot lane there. Whereas for the side of Potato Esports, they have a Talon Kench Tom, Hector Boom in the jungle has Volibear, Carrot in the mid lane has Silas, and then Candy Guns on Misfortune, and Zraya on Soraka. Oh, Candy Guns flashing early there. We saw this mistake earlier as well, where an AD carry will just sit in that bush. It's a very common gank path just to see if you can get an easy flash for an entire team to go into that mid bush and then walk towards that bush. This is the second game. It shouldn't be the second game unless you guys played it the wrong way around. Well, it's fine. Okay, this is fine. We'll do them the wrong way round. Um, I mean, it shouldn't be the second game because of the way the numbers work, but yeah. This is why when you send the games, it's best as well to say which one's first and second, because technically Ascension was supposed to be blue side game one anyway. Uh, Unless I also have their names the wrong way around, but I don't think I do. Um, but yeah, we're going to see some early farming. The Silas is farming up a little bit better. There's a lot of damage into the Victor, 100 health left on him. Oro Ranger, though, is jumping. Sorry, just reading the chat there a little bit. Sellers, who are you? Who are you in the game so we know who you are when you subbed in for them? I think this was because the game was so delayed, someone had to go from the side of Potato. Candy Guns. Oh, you're Candy Guns. Yes, we know Candy Guns. But Carrot Farmer here has actually found Black Man in the jungle. That's a lot of damage being put down. Ignite is used, flash away across the wall, and that's a flash taken from the enemy Graves. Um, Victor now coming to support him, but it's a bit too late. Maybe he should have just shoved that wave in. While Trade's going up in that top lane. Victor actually finding the Silas getting a lot of damage down and forcing the flash out. A really nice roam around. Yeah, the ADC of Potatoes had to leave. But yeah, so in the second game, which was actually the first game, we'll see the AD carry of Potatoes. See how they managed to do. Carrot Farmer here having a little bit of a struggle now against the Victor. Doesn't have the same sort of sustain as the Victor does with only that Doran's ring. Goldie actually being very aggressive on the Tarm against the Mundo. Carrot Farmer needs his jungler really to help him out here. And Kent to Boom is here to help out. Oro Ranger though, gonna flash away from that one. Hank to Boom putting down the E, putting a lot of damage down, was trying to give the damage over to Carrot Farmer, I think, but just didn't quite have the damage. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, do be forced to flash away. Candy Guns and Zarya just getting an early summoner away from that Xerath, making him feel a little bit less comfortable in the lane. Interesting enough, it's a beautiful experience playing with Potato Esports. That's really nice to hear. I like hearing about the teams that you know that they're happy and they're having fun, even if their games aren't going amazingly well. Oh, the big trades here down onto Hayden. But that Jin is just going to walk away. 4 shot for some extra burst. Ooh, Doobie with the stun. That's a lot of damage into the Soraka. She will flash away. There's the heal and the W Deadly Flourish just to finish off that kill. Candy Gun's now in a lot of trouble, taking so much damage. Blackwoman, though, will go down and give a kill over to the Misfortune. Just 2 kill hungry there. Really didn't need to try for that, and that will help bring this bot lane back into the game for Potato Esports. Oh, Candy Farmer, Carrot Farmer here, finding Doobie. There was no flash on the Xerath, but he didn't have the damage yet to get a kill there. And of course, top lane, boring tank trades. It's practically even CS as well, nothing much going on. Nice to see control wards being picked up by the side of Ascension. First game we've seen of them, so obviously they do like to prioritize that vision. Well, that's what we can take away from this. It was very nice to see. We'll have to see how they use them, of course, because you can buy control wards, but if you put them somewhere where it's never going to give you anything useful, it's still that's like 75 gold down the drain. More trades in the mid lane. Carrot Farmer jumping in, but the Gravity Well will lock him down. A lot of trades going back. Yellow Poro using the range for his advantage. Hank to Boom running under the tower there. Taking a lot of tower shots. 150 health. Blackwoman now trying to run it down. He's jumping onto Carrot Farmer jumping away. 100 health left on the Silas. They know that there's no flash yet on the Graves, and they can just walk out of this one. Hank de Boom knows he can get out of this one very easily. CoraL is coming around though. They might be looking to turn this one around. They jump onto the Graves. Graves taking so much damage and he's already dead. But there's the ultimate from the Victor trading back and getting the flash out of the volley bear. And that wave is pushing into the Victor, so unless the Victor wants to run back down, he's going to lose quite a lot. He will run back down to collect that wave before backing. And overall, that will actually put the Victor quite far ahead. It isn't that much of a real difference in terms of gold, though. Kills also very even right now. Goldie interrupting the back from Pink Poro. Nice sidestepping from the Soraka. Not getting hit by anything. Carrot Farmer is here in the bot lane again. There's a nice slow coming down onto the Jhin. He's locked up in place and he goes down. Candy Guns with the kill. Doobie now left to run away. Meanwhile, jungler on jungler action and Blackman's going to get Hank to boom. And there's the stolen ultimate from the Xerath will be used to kill Xerath. Blackman with a really nice sidestep there. Won't get knocked up, but this Silas could put a lot of damage down, and he's backed up by his team. Yellow Poro Ranger here might try and do something, but he doesn't have the ultimate. Soraka will be staying alive for now. There's the Q going down, not enough to kill. Those health fruits, healing them up. Zria actually healing as well, going incredibly low, but hasn't fallen. Deadly Flourish. Jhin was not in range, but Zria walks up to the minion wave. And that was a mistake. Zria didn't need to die there. I mean, 1,000 gold built up right now for Potato Esports. This is first time we've seen them ahead, I think. A lot in part to the roams from Carrot Farmer towards this bottom lane. A questionable... I think the final heal was very cocky. Bit of a questionable play, but... And then walking up to the minion wave on 1 HP was, yep, a little bit questionable to say the least. Still, just, you know, trades going down in the top lane. Interestingly, Mundo's built up a decent CS lead. And has not used the teleport, whereas the teleport has been used on the Tahm Kench. A bit better wave management coming out from Pink Poro here, who have got himself ahead without the use of that teleport. Whereas Tom has used the teleport. I mean, there's a fight over this dragon, but Carrot Farmer and Zria are really far ahead. They're turning it around onto Yellow Poro Ranger, but Hank to Boom already down. It's a trade 1-for-1 so far. Meanwhile, Tom going onto Mundo in the top lane, throws him into the tower, still trading down. Goldie actually flashes away. Was a bit worried about the amount of damage taken there. That grey health, though, healing the Mundo up. And Goldie actually seems to be happy enough to just seed this wave. Maybe hasn't realized that the Mundo ult is down. Maybe just not too confident with the amount of damage that he can do. Nice trades in this bot lane. So Doobie actually fairly far down in levels. Not had the best back timings, I guess. Not Farmer up in this top lane can steal the Mundo ultimate, but that's not really going to help him kill the Mundo. We'll give him a nice heal if he wants to dive for the turret, but that's a silence down. Aiden able to get out of the silence and the bullet time with a heal flash. Nice sidestep there from Goldie before using the Abyssal Voyage to make sure he's not stunned. Where is the Watermelon Man? Where is the Watermelon Man indeed? Carrot Farmer here actually does use that Mundo ultimate just to heal out of range of Doobie. Doobie now in a lot of trouble. Forced to flash across the wall, but he's chained up. That's another kill into the pockets of the Silas. Jarma Guardian clearing out a ward. We like to see it. Interestingly, the gold is equal right now. That's a big shutdown, though. Suddenly, balloons somehow 800 gold shutdown, despite the teams being even. That is 3 members pushing the top. Tom Kench trying to push in the mid wave, but it's a Tom Kench. Not too much you can do. Hang to Boom. Up in the top wave here is trying to push them off it, but not much he can do. He has the Herald, and he doesn't really want to die with the Herald. I mean, he could just go for this. There isn't that much CC on the enemy team, and he has ultimate. Not used it yet. We'll use it at the last second to try and get out. Flash forwards by Pink Power Ranger. Nice sidestepping from Hank to Boom. Carrot Farmer trying to trade on, but overall, turrets there not. That's Victor ultimate stolen and used. Blackman being taken quite low. Isn't going down yet. The Silas will go down in the end. Candy Guns and Hayden are trading in this bottom lane. The MF can put quite a lot of damage down. Doobie does hit that Q, but the MF autos just do so much more damage back. Root goes down, but heals by the Soraka. It's actually about a 2,000 gold lead. Opened up for the side of Ascension just with some better macro, it has to be said. Moving up with the 3-man to the top lane. Getting the kill and then forcing that first turret down. Really opened them up, and the Tahm Kench not able to get anywhere near as much back in the mid lane. Interestingly enough, Hank to Boom could go to put this Rift Herald down in that mid lane, just break the turret instantly. It would be really useful to open up the map for them. Something that can help Silas especially get out of his lane and start moving around the map a little bit more. Blackwoman coming here for the gank. The trade is going down. Zria's going to hide behind Candy Guns, I think, but no, actually moves away. Going to fall to Blackwoman. Candy Guns still trading it back. That's 450 gold. DB will get the stun. Hayden Boris jumping forwards. Flash away by Candy Guns. Hank to Boom with the sidestep. Won't get hit by the Deadly Flourish. Doesn't hit Candy either. And just a 1-for-1 trade in the bot lane. Candy Guns actually fading the dive here a little bit. That's a stun that goes down. Hank to Boom jumping in. He's thrown down the E. Tahm trying to get in as well. They're going onto the Jhin first. Jhin is down. Pink Power Ranger is here. Xerath also down. Nothing that Mundo can do. The TP was just a little bit too late to save his bot lane. And they're using the Rift Herald in this bottom lane, I think just because it was timing out. Not the best use of it, but they might be able to secure a dragon out of it. And you'll take that, an Infernal, you know. It's not too bad. Tahm Kench, though, using the Abyssal Voyage straight into the enemy team, forced the flash. He might have bought enough time for the team to get the Drake here. He has. He's trying to turn it around now. The shield and the healing coming out from the Soraka will help keep that Tahm alive. The Xerath ultimate comes out. It doesn't put too much damage down. Her flash forwards by Yellow Power Ranger really feeling himself, but just doesn't have the damage to secure any kills there. It's 5 members now of Potato Esports on this bottom side. In fact, everyone alive is just on this bottom side of the map. Parafarmer, Hank to Boom off to the side. They're coming in now. There's a lot of damage being thrown down. They're going after the Victor first. There's 1 down, 2 in return. There's the Tahm down as well. Blackwoman now trying to trade. Candy Guns has no mana and will have to fall to this. Initially, it looked like they might have the jump on the Victor, but they just didn't have the damage to kill him quickly enough. And the amount of damage back in return meant that Ascension could just pick up those kills. And they should be able to steal away some of these camps, break this bottom tier turret, bottom inner turret, and be very useful. For just snowballing them even further ahead. They won't actually choose to break that bottom inner. They're going for taking away some enemy camps, which overall you could generally say is the better play, taking away the enemy camps for now. Looks like they will also get this mid turret off of it, but Hank to Boom is here. They're going straight onto Doobie. Doobie already down. Black Man now trying to get onto the Soraka, but it's a lot of damage being thrown down into the Graves. There's the bullet time. Heal was used to try and get the Graves out of it, but it's not enough. Graves will go down. Is this guy a real carrot farmer, or is it fake? I don't know. Can anyone from Potato Esports confirm? Abyssal Voyage, not the best timing, but it's good enough. And that will be a kill picked up for the Tom. Solo Bolo against Victor. Andy Guns going for some damage on the Jhin, but will back off as soon as that teleport comes in. That is Doobie teleporting to the mid lane to help out his AD carry. Our Pink Poro Ranger just working on taking out that bottom inner turret. Will take it out in the end. Is trying to turn the damage back onto the Sylas, but the Sylas can keep healing. Don't think he wins this fight. Is going to be forced to try and get away eventually. The rest of Ascension are here on the bottom side. Candy Gun's in a lot of trouble. The stun comes down. The enemy AD carry is assassinated. Soraka goes down as well. Goldie in a lot of trouble. Can pop that E to try and keep himself alive. Holds onto the Abyssal Voice too long. Carrot Farmer feeling a bit of pressure here. Feels like he needs to get the kill back in return. But the Everfrost doesn't connect. He scuffs the jump over the wall and nothing will be picked up for this Sylas. There's another briefcase. Delivering news of a loss. Is it fake news? Who knows? But this mid inner is being worked on right now. Interestingly directed camera today wants to give really weird angles that don't look the best, to be honest. So I might have to take over the camera work for a while, annoyingly. Bum, bum. Ooh, Zria might just face check this bush. Does. There's a death trap. The Soraka is taken out. And it looks like the game is just slowing down now. The Herald is summoned. Will break that mid turret. Which, you know, it's... Interestingly enough, I think objective bounties, did they spawn there? I wasn't watching, but yeah, objective bounty picked up a little bit of gold back into their pockets. They're about 5,000 gold down right now. Not great, Potato Esports, but they do have Soraka. Scales like an absolute monster. Like Cody face checking, stunned up and taken out. That was really patient work from Ascension. There's the ult coming out from the Xerath. It looks like this Drake probably going to be picked up now. And Potato will do what they can to hold on, stay in this game, but it's not looking all too good for them. Really big gold deficit right now. Zarya actually in a lot of trouble, forced to use that wish, and it's not enough to keep her alive. Zarya will go down. That might be this mid lane turret opened up, but no, that's scary enough. Without Jhin and Graves there, that's Ascension will just choose to back off instead. They're setting up another Death Brush. Surely not again. They should have seen that come down, but that's a double kill actually over to Candy Guns. Goldie's going to eat him up, run him to safety. Does go down in the end. Candy Guns trying to trade the damage back. Hank to Boom is in the backline, going after the Graves, cancels an auto attack, and that might make all the difference in this fight. But the heals coming out from Zarya to keep the jungler alive. 3 versus 3. No one dies. Now, jungle camps just yet again being taken away. Blue buff goes over to the Mundo, not the Jin. Not really who you want it on. You'd want that blue on the Jin. Of course, that would let him spam things like the Deadly Flourish. Just look a bit more for those roots. And maybe he'd be able to find some roots. Maybe not. At the moment, there's a lot of pressure on Candy Guns to be able to carry this game. Candy Guns only subbing in though. Carrot Farmer was really far ahead in the early game, but starting to fall a little far behind. Hasn't farmed up very well. Only has those first few kills from early on in the game. Gone with some of the less damaging route with the Everfrost. Doobie. Trying to set up a Death Wish of his own. He's over the wall. Oh, but Carrot Farmer walks straight into Blackman. Maybe didn't quite see it. Gonna try and trade around. But that's a quick kill. Over to the Graves. They're sweeping the pit. They should see the jungler on the bottom side, and it looks like Ascension will be starting up this Baron. Potato Esports investing a lot of people to try and get this kill onto this Mundo, but they will be giving over the Baron for it, and they don't actually get anything out of the Mundo. Looking bot side. So Baron picked up massive gold lead. Surely Ascension are just going to end out of this one. Bit of a desperation play coming out from Potato Esports, hoping that they might just be able to catch on to the Mundo, but I think Poro Ranger playing just back. Playing safe. Make sure he's not going to give over anything. Oh, and Hayden going extremely aggressive onto this Silas. There's a double ultimate used. That's one down already. Damage thrown into the Misfortune and the Tahm Kench. But that's the mid laner down from Potato Esports. And Mundo just split pushing on the bottom side of the map. Seems to be happy to fight this Tahm Kench. Knows that he has the support from his Victor. Slow's coming down. There'll be the stun eventually. Goldie in a lot of trouble now. Will pop the shield, but will only keep him alive just a little bit longer. And we can see as Ascension move towards the Nexus turrets right now, they're actually just going to bring in 2 waves at once. That's 2 inhibs down, and they're going to choose to continue pushing. That's a nice slowdown. Zarya forced the flash away. Bullet time's really big. Does take out the Victor, but Candy Guns forced the flash away as well. Flash expended on the MF, but they take out the enemy mid laner. The minions are hammering on the turret. Black Woman, so much damage. It's taken down by the tower, but it is traded for mid yet again. The trades are just going down. Candy Guns taking incredibly low. Heal and Soraka's heal are used. Goldie trying to get into the backline, but he's not backed up right now by his Misfortune. Hank to Boom also going in, trying to put damage down into the Jin. They're just going to pull back the Mundo. Looks like Candy Gun's going to try and help to kill him. They will take out the Mundo, and they save the game for a bit longer. We see they're going to chase after Hayden and Doobie, but no, they will give up that chase fairly quickly. Ultimate used. Hank to Boom could be in trouble. Rhea will just heal him up. A lot of damage, and Zarya actually taken out by the Xerath ultimate. And a bit of a fumble from Ascension on their end there. Oh, Carrot Farmer has face checked, fail flash into the wall. There's the thumbs up and the death. He knew he messed that up. Wasn't expecting to run into 2 members of Ascension, and Hey, I mean, it happens. Flash away from Goldie. Guns wants to walk up to this wave. There's a lot of damage. That's a flash forwards from Hayden. That's a big mistake there. The Jin goes down. And Ascension yet again overstepping and just dying. This could have been a clean win from them, but it's just being extended over and over by these oversteps and punishes. Potato Esports haven't given up yet. They're trying to get a little bit of vision in the jungle right now. Clearing out these super minion waves. If they do live through these and the inhibs respawn, they've actually regained so much gold just from these. And Goldie jumping into the enemy team yet again, taking so much damage. There's the ultimate expended from the Soraka already. Wasn't close enough for the regular heal. Two fights going on at once. Carrot Farmer will fall to Blackwoman. Goldie doing the trading that he can will be forced to pop the shield yet again. Zria can't get to their top laner. The fight is really split up right now. Hank to Boom in a lot of trouble is taken down. Goldie and Zria forced to try and run away. Sidesteps going down. Goldie will eat up the Soraka. Make sure she is able to stay alive. With only 3 members left alive on the side of Potato, could Ascension look for the end this time? Is one of them going to overstep? Will they give it up? 2 members are pushing in the top wave here. Will probably take down that triple inhib. Jin ultimate is used. Doesn't really do much, but it buys time for one turret to go down. There's the bullet time, but so much damage out from the Victor. There was one ult, I think. And the ult from the Graves just took out the Misfortune. And with Candy Guns down, surely this will be the end of the game. They just have to hit onto this Nexus. Carrot Farmer doing what he can to keep the game alive. Flashing forwards from the grave will take out another one. Hank to Boots in the backline, but he just doesn't have the damage to do anything. It's just Goldie left alive. That'll be game 1, going over to the side of Ascension. And, yeah, I mean, it was looking like a fairly clean game. Or it was looking like a good game. You know, Ascension got ahead. They managed to snowball their leads, but they just could not end it. Time after time, one of them would overstep against Potato Esports, be caught out and punished. This time we are going to be watching game 2. Which was actually game 1, but it's going to be calling it game 2, you know. So this time we do have the regular AD carry for Potato Esports in Peacemaker. So this time on the blue side is Potato Esports. They have Tarn Kench again for Goldie in the top lane, one of the favourites. Hank to Boom is on Zac in the jungle. Carrot Farmer this time has Ari mid lane. And we have the Lucian Nami bot lane, a very strong bot lane to try and take over a game. On the other side for Ascension, we have Mundo top lane again. Blackwoman has Echo in the jungle. We've got an Irelia mid for Yellow Poro. Hayden has Ezreal with a Morgana support for Doom. He is, of course, a sub. I will get straight on into the game. So, I mean, a few things to note here. There's the front line of Ascension here is very reliant on this Mundo getting big and tanky, whereas it's a little bit safer for the side of Potato Esports. Also, both their carries have their own self-peel in the form of dashes, so should be a little more happy with that. It's quite hard for Aurora to get onto a backline that has a Nami because that tidal wave is just such a it's such a Nami's so good at kiting, helping to kite out. Yep, we do see a D shield on the Irelia to start. Not looking for those early kills. Tells me, you know, Blackwoman's not going to be looking for the early ganks either. They do have the mixed damage portfolio of magic and AD, and Ari early can be very weak, when she doesn't have those dashes, is very susceptible to being ganked. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Yellow Poro will be happy to just heal up when he can, using that D shield. A little bit of extra health. This is an interesting start from Carrot Farmer, actually, is giving up all... Uh, and then the jump on from Yellow Poro Ranger. Yellow Poro Ranger knows what to do with Ari. It actually does take a lot of damage from the minions early, but we can see from that play does know how to stack up the Aurelia passive, and that it's a good time to go in. Whereas Carrot Farmer, seeded that early pressure, allowing Yellow Poro to get that wave stacked perfectly to charge up the Q, and it does not bode well for how this mid lane is going to go. Would have expected Carrot Farmer to walk up early and push the Irelia back. Meanwhile, it looks like Peacemaker and Zuri are not really trying to make use of the really strong level 1 from the Lucian Nami. They've not pushed the wave to get the level 2 first either, actually just getting pushed in. It's a bit strange, really. Especially when you take Electrocute on the Nami, you kind of expect them to try and get the pressure in this lane. It could just be because they're expecting a gank from the Zac, but Zac looks like he's going for a full clear. There is also wards, so the enemy will know Zac is on this bottom side. Really nicely done. Yep, we actually see the pings come down there. They know Zac's on the bottom side of the map. But Hayden and Doobie can just play back a little bit. I'd expect one of them to go for a ward potentially, just to make sure the Zac's not jumping on. Really nicely done from Yellow Power Ranger yet again, getting the stacks and then going in. Carrot Farmer now realizing, oh, wait a second. This is the time when I should be walking forwards and autoing. So we see that actually the Ari coming out on top of all of those trades is currently down in CS. But there's the potential engage. They get out the Ezreal Arcane Shift and they get out the Black Shield. A lot of damage being traded back and forth. Doobie actually taking incredibly low flash forwards, but the flashback in return. Zarya in a lot of trouble. The flash and the heal will just take out of that. Oh, a really nice bubble stuns Black Man in place. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Carafama actually just slowly killing the Aurelia with the Ahri auto attacks. And this is what should have been happening since level 1. Zarya taking some poke damage from the Ezreal. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that the Lucian Nami not really managed to build a lead. Zac coming for a potential gank here, charging that knock up. That's a knock up onto Doobie. First blood taken over, and the Ezreal so low will get taken down by Zarya in the end. Giving Scorch potentially there. Not sure. But that's 2 kills over to the bot lane of Potato, and yet again Potato showing that they can have a strong laning phase. A strong first few levels. Trade's coming out. Oh, really nice charm prediction from Carrot Farmer there. Can't really do anything with it, but does interrupt the Aurelia's dash. And that means the Aurelia, doesn't get the kill off the dash, which means she won't get that mana back. And she won't get it off of cooldown. That opens a window for a potential punish. Goldie being bullied under the tower at the moment. Oh, Hank to Boom sees Doobie here. Doobie putting down a control ward in the mid lane. Is pulled back. Nice sidestep from Hank. Carrot Farmer coming to assist. That control ward will just be instantly cleared out. TP back to top lane by Goldie, struggling quite a lot in this matchup. The Lucian Nami lane now currently a decent amount stronger than Morgana Ezreal. That's a dash away from Goldie over the wall. Abyssal Voyage able to just take him to safety. That's a jump forward from Hank, potentially. Pretty sure that he was seen there. Trades back from Carrot Farmer. Is weaving in the auto attacks. Very well done, but is falling down quite far on the CS. It's currently only a 200 gold advantage, despite being 2-0. Peacemaker altering a minion there did get rid of one of the Nami bubbles, but instantly destroys Doobie. Bobble wasn't placed in the correct place for the Arcane Shift. Pro Ranger wants to interrupt this Ari back, but knows that that would potentially be a death sentence so close to the tower. A lot of poke coming out from the Nami Lucian lane. Maybe we should call it the Lumi lane. That was actually a lot of damage from the Ezreal WQ. Gotta be very careful. Peacemaker being hit by all of these Ezreal Qs. Meanwhile, Echo not really managed to get much of an advantage in the jungle. Hasn't got any kills, no assists. Hasn't really built up much of a CS lead, despite the amount of ganking that Zac has done. Questionable so far. Goldie actually has the level advantage in this lane somehow. I think Pink Power Ranger potentially took an early back, missed out on some minion CS. Farmer, small trades onto Blackman there. Nice sidestep. Ult is used. They're looking for the fight here. Hank to Boom jumping over the wall onto Doobie. Irelia is here. That's the ultimate. It does actually go down and hit onto 3. The stun comes down onto the Lucian. Lucian is taken out. Carrot Farmer is now trying to put what damage down he can into the Irelia, but it's not enough. And with the Lucian so low, that was a really ill-advised fight. And Dragon's actually being started. There's no way for the Ahri into the pit here. Hengtaboom will get a kill, but not enough. Maybe Ahri can go for a steal. Not actually trying. It had the Q. Ahri could have stolen there. I'm so sure. How was the first game? What's this game we're watching now, or you mean the game you were in? You can see that the kills that have been put down onto the Morgana really far behind on levels, actually quite a bad spot. The gold lead is currently in Ascension's favor. That's mainly from the CS lead built up on the top half of the map. Which, you know, CS on the Mundo won't make all too much of a difference. Lucian will be able to work through it eventually. Volty jumping up onto Pink Power Ranger, slows going down, forced flash away, but either Devour will come down, will be thrown back into the turret. There's a lot of damage coming out, and Goldie gets the solo bolo against Pink Power Ranger. Predator up with someone's Rhea taking so much damage there. Knock up to try and keep the Nami alive. Rhea's got a sidestep, not able to. Hank to Boom could be in a lot of trouble now. Is trying to put a lot of damage down. There's so many blobs to pick up. Doesn't go for any of them. Hank to Boom will go down as well. 2 kills traded back. And a 2,000 gold lead to Ascension. They are just CSing better and getting... I mean, here's the thing. Potato Esports are winning out on a lot of these sort of 1v1 fights. But they're losing out on all of the sort of map plays where they're the small skirmishes, 2v2s, 3v3s. Game you're in. I mean, it was... You know, it wasn't too bad. Ascension did play it quite well, but... Oh, there's a trade in this middle lane. Carafarma jumping away. Nice use of the jumps, but not able to dodge out that Irelia W and will go down in the end. And yeah, this Ahri struggling. Oh. But yeah, I mean it's hard to say because there was just like it felt like Potato Esports is a bit uncoordinated when it comes to team fights. You know, the team fighting could do with some work. And I think if they get a bit better at their team fights, skirmishes, you know, get on the same page, I think they'd look a lot stronger because they are winning quite a few of these 1v1s. Um, and you can see that they have the ideas down of things like how to use the burst from the Lucian Nami, things like things like that. But just practice basically. Practice and Potato will be looking a lot better. That's good to see. You can see the sort of slow rise of the Potato. This game is not over yet. They may be 2,000 gold down, but Potato are by far still in this game. Aquaman actually jumping onto Peacemaker. They're moving back. Carafarm with a charm onto the Echo. There's no ultimate left on the Echo. A jump forward, Spirit Dash. Carafarm actually Spirit Dashing away from the Ezreal there. Again, team not quite on the same page. They will put enough damage down to get him, though, in the end. Goldie trading onto the Mundo. And just a bit of that gold lead taken back. Problem is, Irelia is just pushing in the mid lane. Getting lots of plates to herself, lots of XP and CS. It's sort of an idea Irelia's dream, just able to free farm. The call from Potato Esports is really chaotic. That would make sense. That's another kill picked up in the jungle. Yubi and Aura Ranger waiting, lying in wait. Carrot Farm with a flash away there, being very safe. Just not taking any chances. Ball's really chaotic, and that's why the 2v2s and team fights aren't going really well. Yeah, you sort of need a potentially need a shot caller. I mean, a, a shot caller is kind of like you don't want to have one. You want the team to be on the same page to the point where they don't really need one. And there's just like you have maybe one or two people calling out important things that people might forget, like this guy has no flash. We're doing this. No, we're doing this. No, I'm going in. What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah, that can happen. But yeah, I mean, one easy fix for it is you say, this is the person's call we listen to in games. And no matter what, everyone has to listen to that call. And you know what? If it's wrong, you listen to it, you do it, and then afterwards you can go, that call was wrong. And then the person who makes the call learns that not to make that call in the future. Or you learn, like, oh, this person actually didn't respond to that call. If we had, maybe we would have won it because look, everyone else did, and we were so close to winning it. Or a Ranger with really nice trades, but that's so nice. Oh, that might have actually been a solo kill for the Ahri if the Everfrost had come out a little bit quicker and trapped Irelia under the tower. The bot turret will be going down. First turret into the pockets of the Lucian Nami is really good. Peacemaker and Zria here putting so much damage down. Doobie being taken out. And this bot lane is really where to look for Potato Esports right now. That's a lot of trades coming out. Zria could be in some trouble. The heal comes down to try and help keep the Nami alive, but the ultimate execute comes out from the Irelia. No real way there for the Nami to get out. They maybe could have tried to fight that actually with the Lucian there. Sure, Irelia is strong, but she's not that tanky yet, and especially with only the Merc Treads. Aquaman in a lot of trouble, but the ultimate actually does catch on to both of the enemies. A lot of damage put down. Now Doobie is going to try and take out the Zac. You don't quite have the damage, but a nice stun onto Hank to Boom, and oh, what was that auto attack damage? Nice Ezreal snipe. You gotta give that. It was basically a predict on where the back was going to happen. when there's a jump in from Poro Ranger, he's taken one out under the tower. This Irelia is a complete menace. And there's nothing Zria can do. Actually does get rooted under the tower and will be taken out. Doobie tanking the tower up just enough. Irelia is kind of fed. Kinda, yeah. Before this happened, has like 1.5 items basically. Oh, Goldie going for the fight onto Pink Poro Ranger. A lot of damage being thrown down. Nice stun out, and that's a solo bolo. The Tom outplaying the Mundo. Maybe down on CS, but able to put in the damage. We'll get the arcane shift from the Ezreal as the grab misses. That will just walk out. Yeah, so essentially this Aurelia could be a large problem. When I say could be a large problem, it's a large problem right now. It's something Potato Esports are gonna have to deal with. She has some lifesteal. It might be worth from just how far ahead she is. Oh, there's the culling used into Blackman. Try to force him to use the ultimate back. He will do. Irealia's on the other side. But Peacemaker jumping forwards. Not really where you want to go. Hank de Boom forced to jump away from the Irelia. Is trying to get to the safety of his turret. But is that really safe? This Irelia has been diving everyone. The Arcane Shift. Not Arcane Shift. The Ezreal ultimate is used. We'll take it down. There's a Spirit Rush used by Carrot Farmer just to escape. Not really what you want to happen. Kind of sad to have to use it. Carrot Farmer, though, going after Doobie. A lot of damage thrown out. And Doobie just overextends there. Will be taken out. Is traded for a turret. Looks like they're going to try and go onto this Irelia. That's a nice charm going in, but they don't quite have the damage to take him out just yet. Tidal Wave used, but eat the Irelia at the same time. They don't layer their CC properly. Irelia now just flashing away is still alive, and Carrot Farmer is just in an awkward place. Doesn't really want to jump in. Not with the big minion wave there. Trying to put what damage down that he can. You see how much damage he's taking from the wave. Charm comes out. The wave is just in the way. Flash away from the Ezreal. His team's abandoned him, but they just can't do anything there. Blackman now 1v1ing the Drake and realizing might be in a bit of trouble. Can't really 1v1 this. Will be spotted out. That should be enough just to dissuade them from the Drake for now. So there are bounties that can be picked up for towers. Baron, Dragon. Have to wait and see how that goes. There's some Mundo Tarm trades in the top lane. This is where we saw a perfect example there of Potato not quite being in sync on these like team fights and 2v2s as the Nami Tidal Wave came out, and just as it was about to knock Irelia up, Tarm eats Irelia. Would have been better to just let the knock up come through and then eat Irelia afterwards. Eating up the Mundo, carrying him back to the tower, trying to make sure those tower shots get in. Will get one shot out of it, but that's all. Drake is being stunned up. Blackman in a lot of trouble. Stunned up into the charm. Can they take him out before the ultimate comes out? No, they can't, but that is the ult expended from the Echo. Doobie going to go down in just a second. That's taken out. There's the Let's Bounce coming out from the Zac. Blackman is taken out, but Yellow Poro Ranger is here. The Drake is secured, and that is a bounce. Yellow Poro Ranger now trying to get out. Spirit rushing in towards the Irelia, but Irelia is really strong. Aiden has to be careful here. Flash forward by Peacemaker into a Q auto. There it is. Decides to go for the auto Q, and that is insta kill for the Lucian. The Lucian could be in a bit of trouble. Doesn't know the Irelia is right behind him. Has to dodge out on the stun. Nice sidestep. He has the rest of his team here, but there's so much damage being thrown out, and they might get this kill. They do get the shutdown. 1,000 gold into the pockets of the Lucian. That is big. And Potato Esports are here to play. They will get another objective bounty. They close up that gold gap to 4,000. The one good thing is if all the gold is stacked on one person, if you take them out, you're very likely to win the fight. Peacemaker now trying to fight against Blackwoman, taking so much damage, almost enough to take out the Echo, but the Echo does manage to get off the chrono shift in time. Zac there will go down eventually. Zria, nothing Zria can really do about that one. Tries for the cheeky bubble. Window still pushing top. Well, yeah, I feel like I don't know if Pink Poro Ranger has heard of this champion before called Tryndamere, but it's a really good champion if you want to keep pushing on side lanes. Just oof, that'll tickle that itch real nice. There's also a lot of other champions that can do the same sort of thing really well, like Fiora. Jax can do it pretty well. I suppose Mundo can do it fairly well. Sion's another one, and can provide an easy way to get to Zria taking so much damage from that ult. Sad B. Oh yeah, Yorick. I forget he exists because you never see anyone play him. Who else? Well, they buffed Olaf into a place where he's going to be played solo lane, didn't they? Their mini rework, which is, all buffs. Literally all buffs. So they're not wrong in saying it's a rework, but I feel like they should have called it a rework buff. But here's a fight breaking out. That's it's flash taken already. Yellow Pyro Ranger gets the black shield, but could be in trouble. Tidal Wave knocks him up. That's one down already. Potato Esports starting to win this fight, but all of them are on incredibly low health bars. Illusion's rooted in place, and suddenly it all goes wrong. They're all being taken out. And one taken out in return. Goldie trying to just pick up a kill, but you saw Blackwoman and Doobie both surviving on pretty much no health there. And yet another super messy fight. And Ascension not quite sure what to do with this small lead they've built up. Looks like they're going to just try and take away some jungle camps. Two of them might be going to break open this tower. They do have a little bit of time. It's just the Zac. In theory, they could try and ignore the Zac and go for it, but it's a bit risky with the rest of the team respawning, so they'll just back off. They've put some nice damage into that mid lane tower. If anyone gets some time with it, it will break. Arctic, does Arctic play? Arctic used to play in a team. I don't think he's playing this season. Watching the fight, and I'm still unsure of who won the fight. Yeah, the fights are so messy in these games that it can be going one way and then suddenly tip over something completely random. But anyway, game slowed down a little bit. 7,000 gold lead now for the side of Ascension. You can see that gold lead's slowly been building up. They've been slowly taking out these towers. Oh, that's the ultimate thrown down, but the stun's not in time to stop the Abyssal Voyage from the Tarm. Aurelia's starting to use up that mana bar. This is only the third Drake for Ascension, so Potato could choose to give it up if they wanted. Stun goes down onto the Tarm Kench. See, Peacemaker's playing extremely respectfully right here. Potato not really wanting to walk up. Dark Binding onto the Tarm. Dragon spawning in just a second. Vision Plant popped. It will reveal Ascension, but not for very long. Drake being aggroed, surely they're just going to pull this one out of the pit. There is a blue ward though, they have the vision of this Drake. That ward needs to be cleared. Vision denied, they know that it's going down very quickly and they will just give it up. Potato not wanting to fight. Just stalling out the Drake as long as possible. That's a flash over by Yellow Power Ranger into a really nice stun. They've taken out the Nami. And Slow's going down onto the Tarm. Abyssal Voyage away though. There's no hard CC to stop him. Interestingly, we have the Hull Breaker as well on the Mundo. Even after being nerfed a few times, it's being picked up. And Baron being taken by Ascension. Long time coming. They don't actually have many wards down, so it's just up to Pink Poro Ranger to keep the enemy team away. Oh, Arctic's on Fuji. I think your league name might have changed. I feel like it was something else before. I feel like you played here before, but it wasn't with Fuji. I think it was with someone else. One of the super old teams. Pink Boro Ranger with the Chad walks straight at the Ahri. There is ultimate is used just for the move speed. Spell immune, but that's the perfect placement on that pop-up. Ahri actually using the flash in the end to make sure she can get away from the Mundo. You played last season on Fuji Assassins. I feel like... oh. Blackward takes a decent chunk of damage. Wasn't there like one of the SAS teams? Didn't you play for one of the SAS teams at one point? There's an ultimate from the Ezreal just wide onto Lucian. Lucian's taking so much damage. Goldie tries to get a knock up, can't get it. We'll put the slow down onto Blackward, man. And ooh, that is Peacemaker taken out. That's a lot of the damage away from the side of Potato. And again, that the knock-up. Hayden with a flash away will trade the kill from the Ahri. They're trying to kill Zac. They have taken him out, and it's probably going to be the end of the game. Three down. It's just Tom and Nami, the two fish champions. Oh, the bubble is just, again, Sria and Goldie not quite on the same page with their CC layering. And that will be game 2, going over to the side of Ascension, eventually. Oops, I gotta make sure to change the right score. 2. And yeah, I mean, fairly clean game. I'd say the game was in some ways cleaner than the last one, in some ways more scrappy. And yeah, it's kind of awkward. I mean, it's talking about if you can carry on AD carry. I mean, AD carry is extremely reliant on your team and how they play around you. So, I mean, it's one of those positions where it seems completely okay to sub it out, but you sort of need an AD carry who believes in you and will play the same way as your old one for it to work, especially if you play around that AD carry. Someday you're getting that win. Someday, do you guys have a game left? I feel like maybe you've got a game left. I'm not sure who it's against. But yeah. Can I check the caster lounge? I can. Yeah. Sure. Come join. Jump into waiting to be moved, and I'll pull you up. But yeah, next up we will be having Fuji Assassins versus NSG Niflheim. This is, you know, a very good indication of where Niflheim actually are in the standings. Fuji at the moment going very strong in first place. They went very strong last season as well. They only dropped a regular season game to my team. So that was, yeah. Yep. I'll put in. Wait, I'll write it in. There you are. Ooh, my computer works. Hello. Welcome to the stream. What would you like me to call you?
Michael.
Michael. Okay. Welcome to the stream, Michael. You can introduce yourself if you want.
I have to introduce myself.
Oh, great. This is Michael. He's going to be casting Fuji Assassins
Yeah,
versus NSG.
I my yeah. Do you want like a background or something?
Now, I mean, it's up to you if you want to say anything or nothing at all. I'm just buying myself time to add you to the caster lists.
I'm Michael, kind of piss lonely on the Hitmasters,
Perfect, perfect.
main ADC, played for like 8 years.
Nice. Well, welcome to the stream. We do have Fuji Assassins versus NSG coming up next. You know anything about either of these teams? You can't hear me so quiet. I'll turn him up.
Yeah. I know some of the guys on Fuji, but not too much.
Well, there we go. Knows some of the guys on Fuji. Um, not too much. So, I mean, what do you think of Fuji? Do you think they're a good team, bad team? Have some improvement points.
I mean, they have to improve, but they're not directly bad. I think they understand how to play kinda as a team.
Yeah. Um, everyone's saying, yeah. Is the volume okay now, guys? No, they're still saying you're really low volume. Wait, let me. I'm not sure I can turn you up anymore. That is
I
full
mean, I can
volume.
just talk. I guess I can just talk louder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That. How's that,
Right.
guys? Okay. Well, while that's going on, I'm gonna load up the next game. Ready to go. These are all VODs, so I'll stream it through Discord to you.
Yeah.
To get through. They would be all live, but all the teams decided to play on the same days when we had no casters, which was kind of but hey ho, it happens. If I turn up Discord in the volume mixer, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that next. I was hoping I could get away without doing that because it means I'm gonna have to adjust everyone else later as well. Um, that is one way. There we go. Try talking now.
Yeah. Is it good now?
There we go. Is the volume better now, guys? Let me know, stream. Hopefully it's better. I hope so. That's all I can really do. Let me share my screen for you. Fortunately, the way this is done, you're not going to get all the pretty CoraL aesthetics over it, but that's... Okay. Load up the game. So, Fuji Assassins versus Niflheim. Why is this not the right teams? What have I done here? Did I forget to change one thing? Maybe. Let me fix that. There we go. Fixed. No one saw anything. Okay, right. Yep. Fuji Assassins versus NSG Niflheim. So in the top lane for Fuji Assassins, they did draft the Trundle. In the jungle, we have Michael Jackson on his Nocturne. We have Keking in mid on the Rise. Zeri has Jin, and Maid Kitsune in support has the Nami. Whereas on the other side, for NSG Niflheim, they have the Ornn in the top lane for SSD. Lekka in the jungle is on Jarvan. Jovi has Ari mid lane. Then we've got Lucian as AD carry for I'm Your Joy. And Tactical has Leona support. But I mean, I'll start the game running. But anything you think about these games, Michael, or these teams? Comps?
I mean, Fuji's 2v2 top lane is much stronger, so I guess they should play strong side top. Look to maybe split jungle or vertical jungle.
Yep, and especially when the
The
bot lane.
Jaeger's good because Fuji has immobile carries, so if they don't have flash, they're gonna get caught. Um, I don't know the bot matchup too good. I don't see Jin Nami that often, but I think it's Jin favored. But Ari is gonna move bot a lot.
Yeah, Ari's gonna move bot a lot, and if the Nami gets caught with by the Leona, definitely with the
Yeah.
Lucian, they can burst. that fish down very quickly, so it's a bit of a risky one to try and go for any sort of all-in there. Interesting, we do have heal exhaust on one side versus the heal ignite on the other side. Um, Fairly uncommon nowadays that you see double heals in the bot lane. A lot of AD carries swapped to exhaust a while ago and decided to stick with it.
Yeah, it's the stronger summoner spell, but it loses its value if you get ganked. Because you can only target one.
Yeah, guys in the chat, I'm sure you can hear him now. Stop trolling me. Like, turn up the stream if you really can't hear him. Ah, yes, we still have those really old redeems on. So here you go, guys. Here's your ayaya. That's supposed to be when Mia's on their stream, but you know she hasn't for a while. So uh, you can hear him, but he's always quiet. But then I'm too loud. Well, too bad, guys. That's how it is. Anyway, getting into this start of the game. You know, both junglers starting on the bottom side. Looks like they're all both moving towards that full clear. Fairly common start nowadays, especially when you don't have a ganking jungler. We might see the Jarvan look for an early gank though. Okay, just for you in chat that say are not trolling, it is now at the maximum possible. That is
Unlucky moment.
the maximum possible sound level. So yeah.
Fuji spotting out the jungler. Knows where he is.
Yeah,
So going for 2v2 top.
that's a very good use of vision, use of knowledge. Knowing where the Jarvan's going to be.
But their mid lane is stuck, so Ari can roam if she wants, but she's can do.
Yep, Ari can roam both mid laners though low on mana. So the roam's not going to be the most potent. Auto attacks of course still hurt, especially in the early levels. But people like that. Interesting enough that was a difference of 3 in the volume mixer, guys, whereas I turned it up by like 20 before, so I don't know what you all mean. Like, this... yeah, a 3 difference in the volume mixer, and the previous time you asked me to turn it up, I turned it up by 20, so I think you're all just high, don't worry about it. Anyway, trading in the bot lane, the Jin Nami, God, if I could get this right, is winning out on the health trades, as you sort of expected that might be happening. But they are getting pushed in, which can be, of course, quite annoying for Jin. As it's somewhat hard to farm under tower as Jin, especially in those early few levels. Oh, we did actually see something quite nice from Lekka there. He was covering his Ahri as she pushed in, so that she could take a...
Shadowing for the push.
Yep, and take it
Good
back.
reset timer. Gain some tempo. Look for some good roams now.
Yep, almost a coordinated time from the mid and bot lane actually of NSG. They will be coming back onto the map in time for this dragon spawn, so they could move towards it, know that they're going to have that item advantage if a fight does break out. Would be item and resource advantage in terms of health and mana. So I would quite like to see them move somewhat towards this Drake. It has just spawned. They can see that Jin and Nami haven't taken their backs.
Yeah, first walking towards top side though, so I guess they're just playing it safe.
Yep, it looks like
flipping.
Nami... Looks like Ari is sort of trying to hold the mid wave near herself. Fiona sitting in the bush just below, looking for a potential gank on the Rise. TP not used by the Rise yet though, or Flash. At this point, Tactical just soaking some XP away from his mid laner. Oh, it's actually that gold's fairly even so far. Very slight lead starting to build for NSG. They're getting a bit better of the CSing, a bit better of the pushing um, in this early game. And whether that's going to sustain itself and turn itself into a real lead or not, we'll have to wait and see. It's only
Trundle's really
100.
vulnerable now.
Oh, and
Oh,
Horn is used. That is the knock-up. Brittle damage coming out so much. He just can't move. Will flash away. But even with the slow, the flash will go after. Alt Subjugate has been used as well. Not healing by much. Michael Jackson here to try and save his top laner, but that's not enough. Kicking is coming in as well. They will trade that kill in. 1-for-1 in the end, but the CS and Wave in the top lane, not in the best position. In fact, have a look at it. It will still push in. So, not the worst actually for Trundle. Um, does decide to TP up. Not sure if that was needed, but I suppose it'll save him a minion or two. So with the 1-1 trade, of course, First Blood did go over to NSG, which does put them a little bit ahead. But not really by too much. They are finally turning towards this Drake. I think they could have probably gone for it a bit earlier, but a nice early Ocean Drake gives them more sustain in the lane. Means that they can go for a bit more of the trades. Be a bit more aggressive. Look for a potential gank here. I think Lekka was spotted out on that ward though.
I mean, Noctur's hovering bot side and he's gonna hit 6 of red or raptors.
Yep, though Zeri and Kitsune could look to bait this. You have to be very careful though about when ward was spotted out. Zeri Kitsune moving to protect that ward. Won't manage to protect it. Pink ward actually isn't in the bush. Six has hit on the Nocturne. Does have access to the Paranoia. Where do you think he'll be looking to use it?
I think the bot lane right now just to cover. But the freest gank should probably be mid if Ari wastes are.
So there we go. Look towards this bot lane. There is trades coming down in the bot lane. Tactical going for this gank. Zeri will be stunned up despite flashing into the knockup. Paranoia is pop jumping in. Cataclysm locks them all in place. The Nocturne, though, on the backline is putting down so much damage that after Leona now flash away from Joy, trying to use the culling to put the damage down. That's a lot of damage into the Nocturne, but Nocturne just managing to survive and pick up the triple kill. And that's so much gold into the pockets of Fuji, and specifically into this Nocturne. That's a lot of burst that can come out.
Yep, the Nocturne's probably gonna look to snowball now. Maybe pick up a Rift Herald, get his Rise rolling.
Yep, so far the mid lane has just been trading CS. Basically equal, although Rise did manage to get off a small roam for an assist. Tactical moving up again to shadow the mid lane, but we haven't seen an actual gank coming out from the Leona. Not tried to really punish the Rise at all. I can see both teams sort of moving their focus towards the top. Of course, Nocturne hasn't backed yet. He just ran straight towards top lane, started clearing out those camps. It's sitting on 2.6k gold. Maybe just looking for the full mythic buy before he backs. It's a bit risky. Looks like he's looking for the Herald actually, but or not. I'm Michael Jackson here being a bit of a gold goblin, just sitting on so much gold. Interrupts his back yet again. Take the back. Buy your item.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to walk and clear 2 camps because now his top lane is gonna have top side is gonna have weird respawn timers. But should be fine if you got something huge on it.
Yeah, he's pathing back towards the bottom lane despite the Rift Herald being up. Because it's first Rift Herald, there's still plates. That Rift Herald tends to be worth about a kill's worth of gold. So, yep. Um, oh, trade in the top lane. SST actually putting a decent amount of damage into top lane. Seems like your volume mixer is Garbo. I mean, it's just Windows 10 volume mixer. Of course it's Garbo. Everyone's is. Trade's coming down in the bot lane. Lecker actually trying to move up. There's the paranoia, but has he jumped too far? That's so much damage coming out, but it's interrupted. Michael Jackson running forwards will pick up the first kill. Now just trying to kite it out. Exhaust is put down and managed to keep the Nocturne alive a bit longer, but that's 3 kills picked up. Big shutdown. Unfortunately goes to the Jarvan and not the Lucian, but at this point, you sort of take that. Um, it's actually almost equal in terms of the amount of gold. Especially with Jovi managing to get a couple of plates there in the mid lane. That would have evened out the play, but Zeri and Kitsune should be able to get some... Make the play in Fuji's favour, actually, from the plates they will pick up in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think they got 2 plates and they denied a whole wave, or 2 waves even.
Yep. Oh, big
Okay.
trades in the top lane. Top lane main here being taken quite low. It'd be interesting to see whether SSD decides to try and freeze this, as it looks like should realise that...
Can't freeze though, because
No,
Bramble
he's...
and Bummies.
Yeah, he's moved too close
That's
to that
shit.
wave.
Try to get a good reset.
But next Drake being picked up for NSG again. That will put them towards that win timer. They do roll a Cloud Soul, so by far not the most impactful soul, but hey, a
The
soul's a
worst
soul.
soul. Soul point is nearly not a win con anymore. But it's fine.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to catch the aura with it.
Ooh, they do take the flash away from the Rise. And first real punish we've seen try and come out towards this Rise. We'll have to see whether NSG actually use the lack of the flash there. But yeah, we hope to see Lekka coming back and ganking this mid lane. All he really needs to do is hold the Rise in the Cataclysm. Oh, but Paranoia coming out, and that's a
Good
dead
punish by
fox.
Michael Jackson. Seeing that Aura is just kills her.
Yep. She tried to flash away, but the Paranoia and first auto attack damage was just too much. Big trades going down in the bot lane. Zeri trying to get close enough to the Lucian, but Cullen coming out. Tactical actually did block the Deadly Flourish from the Jhin there, which will keep Joy alive in the end and give the double kill over to the Lucian. NSG is starting to pull back advantages across the map. I mean, Lekka could look towards the mid lane here. Should know there should be no paranoia yet on the Nocturne, and there's no flash on the Rise. It's almost the perfect timing for a gank, but isn't going to look for it. We'll choose to take that back instead, pick up some components for items. I can see Nocturne actually stealing away a lot of the top jungle from the Jarvan. Herald being done by the Trundle. Ooh, Nocturne and Jarvan will walk into each other here, but red buff is on the Nocturne. You should be able to slowly walk down this Jarvan. Flag and Drag is going to have to be used defensively. Nice sidestep from Michael Jackson. Will get knocked up. Actually taking so much damage and will go down in the end. Has gone for the Stride Breaker. There will be no healing coming out. A charm goes onto the Rise. Rise locked in place for just so long. And will be taken down. And NSG turning this game around, taking the gold lead. First time in quite a while. Interesting, we do have an Eclipse built first on the Jhin. It's not one that I'm aware of, not a build I'm aware of, but
I don't think it's that useful. I guess it's fine, since Gale Force gonna get a nerf, but I still think Gale Force is the true and dandy for Jhin.
But this is a four-man top lane, and oh,
Good
what
cross map.
good cross map, and they don't really lose much from it because the Lucian's still farming up fairly safely in this bottom lane. But Izzy, a nice tower dive there to punish, and they will actually manage to force this first turret down quicker as well. There's Goldie just swinging backwards and forwards now, just a few hundred in either direction. So there is the Rift Herald still on the Trundle. You could look for a potential split push opportunity if fight breaks out around the next dragon, for example. Which, you know, it would put the side of NSG on soul point, so we might see a cheeky attempt at a fight from Fuji Assassins, but they
Yeah,
probably
I
have
still
that
think that the
Trundle
Trundle is
split
stronger in the
push.
1v1 because of his R.
Ooh, Mei Kitsune forced to flash it away, but that will be the Cataclysm down. Meanwhile, fight opening up on the bottom side between Leona and Rise, and yeah, Rise gonna win that one. Big fight going on the top side. SSD is on his own in the middle of the enemy team. Doesn't quite
In a
have the
very
damage to
split
finish anyone
fight.
up. Here's the rest of them coming in. Jovi putting so much damage. They take out the enemy AD carry. There goes the Nocturne. He's jumping in. That's another one assassinated. Another Spirit Rush for the Ari. Can the Ari pick up one more? That's a triple kill for the Fox. And they will be able to pick up this dragon off of the back of it as well. But Trundle, meanwhile, was pushing that top lane. That should be two towers going down. Knows that there's no Spirit Rush on the Ari, so should be able to run away. Yep, there we go. Kind of sad that no one in CoraL plays the map. I mean, there are teams actually that do play the cat map. It's just mainly not the river teams. There are a couple of river teams that would play the map. Um, Gel for one can play the map usually. Our team used to play the map quite a lot. But yeah. So game will just slow down for a little while here. We're not really expecting anything to happen. Neither of these teams is really in a good position to try and burst this Baron as it spawns or go for the Baron on spawn. They're probably looking for another about 4 minutes of farming before for another fight around the Drake. Potentially, we could see a fight around mid as those mid towers are broken down. I mean, I would not be surprised at all if Niflheim just 5-man shoved that mid wave to break this mid tower. So, at the moment, I mean, there's not much gold in it. There is a 3 Drake lead in favour of NSG, slight gold lead in favour of Fuji Assassins. And Michael, which team would you prefer to be in this situation?
I think that the Rise engine has a lot of burst damage, but I think the Ornn is too much of a disengage. And all the goal is on Nocturne,
Yeah,
which is
whereas
kinda hard to play around.
you look at the enemy team, there's a decent amount of gold on the Ari, and not the Lucian still has enough gold to function. Um, so definitely slightly easier of a comp, I'd say right now, the side of NSG to use. But it remains to be seen if they will be able to use it effectively. In terms of teleports, We don't know if the teams are timing teleports, of course, but they could know that Jovi's teleport is down. They could look for a potential Baron play. You know, Trundle's not terrible at taking Baron. The problem is just neither team's really in a great position to take the Baron. Calm goes down onto the rise. It's a lot of damage traded. Jovi looking to carry on. Probably going to look for this outer turret on the bot side. Oh, that's a flash away from Keking. Does dodge on the charm, dodge on the Q coming back. Paranoia coming out from the Nocturne. Knows there's no dashes left on the Ahri. Ahri forced the flash away. Flash forwards from Michael Jackson will pick up that kill. 850 gold into the Nocturne. And it still keeps the same problem, though, of all the gold is currently stacked on the Nocturne. Ooh, Zeri walks too far forwards, is rooted there into the Solar Flare, into the Cataclysm, and taken down. I feel like they could have just gone for the flag and drag. The Cataclysm's a bit of showboating there. Quite unneeded.
It was a bit of overkill.
Well, that's two ultimates used to try and take down this troll. Jump forward from I'm Your Joy. They will pick up the kill on the Trundle, but in the mid lane, meanwhile, Lekka is taken down. Michael Jackson, that's two that fall, and they will be able to shove in this mid wave, but they don't really have any minions to work with. We'll just get a little bit of vision around this Drake. It's spawning in 40 seconds, so not a bad time to start setting up the vision. They really want to take their backs, though, if they are looking to back before it spawns. There's the Paranoia. They get the Spirit Rush out of the Ahri, and the Flea does go down. And that is the enemy mid laner down. Michael Jackson doing his best to carry this game. Flash away from the Lucian. He's just getting so much.
Or starts upgrading his Lucian's item to scare the Nocturne away.
Hey, that Lucian's going to be very strong with that upgraded item. But this Cloud Drake will be picked up for the side of Fuji Assassins. That is their first Drake. Buys another 5 minutes for them. Tactical taking a lot of damage from the Trundle auto attacks. No Flash Leona. She was caught out. She was taken down. SSD is taking a lot of damage. There's a nice tidal wave knocking up 3. SSD forced to flash away. I'm Your Joy is taken out. That's 5 locked in the Cataclysm there. 2 flash away, but no one... or Zeri does fall, actually, from Fuji Assassins, and they will actually just back out of this one. They will decide to back. They will be giving up that mid tower. They're still putting a lot of pressure on the map. We're at the point of the game where these teams are starting to get their items together. They could start looking for the Baron very soon. Taking that tower is huge. A little bit of vision will be invested up towards around this Baron. Currently, vision around it is in favor of NSG. They do have some extra wards down that are just spotting out the enemy team. More lead to Fuji Assassins, but honestly, this game has just been on a knife's edge pretty much the entire time. These two teams pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forward.
A lot of back and forward, and for a team like Niflheim, which we've seen in a few games now, but ooh, and they find Michael Jackson here and take him down. Yeah, we've seen Niflheim in a few games here, but they haven't looked the cleanest in any of their games so far. It's quite good to see from them that they are able to stand up to the team currently in first place, Fuji Assassins. Interesting enough, Ornn yet to die. Oh, they turn immediately onto the rise, and he will just be bursted out. The curtain has been called, but their shots are all just going wide as they try and get moved around. That's flag and drag into Cataclysm. Lekka jumping onto the fish. Zeri has to reload the gun. Not much Jin can do here. Doesn't have great attack speed. Trying to do what he can. Joy jumps forwards though to finish that one off. And a 4-0. A clean fight from Niflheim. They won't go
Yeah,
for the
just a
Baron.
good turn, realizing that Fuji wanted to force the fight. But they saw that the Trundle had the wrong angle, so they just insta-collapsed.
Insta collapse on the Trundle, and then not much can really be followed up. There's the Paranoia used. They're going after the Lucian, but Jackson can't hit anything out of it, and I feel like that he wasn't the best use of the Paranoia.
It
That
has
will,
a short cooldown late game, it's fine.
yeah, I mean,
Be
Niflheim have
careful
chosen.
offsetting until Dragon spawns.
They've chosen to back, and that should be fine. So currently, Niflheim actually have by far the vision advantage around this Baron. Jackson trying to clear some of it out here. We'll just pick up the scuttle, get a bit of vision that can't be cleared out. We'll have to look to reinvest in that Baron vision soon, though. It's cleared out by Fuji Assassins. Dragon will be spawning in just under a minute now. We might see teams starting to take back, starting to look to get some vision down around it. The Lekka is on the bottom side of mid. Both AD carries are the ones just being left to go in mid. Paranoia, but that might be too far. A lot of damage being put into Michael Jackson. Culling is used. Joy being taken low. Tactical as well is very low. But Joy is fine on the backside. The Nocturne is down. That's a knock up onto the Jhin. Instantly jumped on and assassinated. And that's Rise going down as well. Mei Kitsune can't escape from this one. That's a clean 4-for-1 right there. Teleport from the Ornn, wanting to get back instantly. Make sure that that inhib tower is not going to fall, but that means he won't be there to tank the Baron. Uh, Interesting to see they've sent 2 to take the Baron, and they've sent the Ahri to push mid on her own. Meanwhile, Ornn is pushing the bot lane. It does mean that they will give over this Drake. They're not going to
Yeah,
get
I
the
think they could
inhib
have taken
turret.
both. They should just leave. They could have left the Baron if they wanted. I don't think the Baron will do that much. Soul is kinda nice this game.
Yeah, Soul always very strong, but top lane main there will get that dragon by another 5 minutes till the Soul, and all it cost was a flash. Also gets a bit of slow resist, a bit of movement speed for his own team, which can be very useful into some these champions, which a few of them do provide slows. Ari's charm, I think, is still slows on the back half of it.
Yeah, Charm slow.
And then the solar
But it's
flare
not
from
always the
Leona.
best to walk faster at her.
Yeah, not always the best. um, but it's barely anything. It's like 3% slow resist.
Yeah, I think the Cloud Dragons are kinda useless. Usually don't. They
I,
never become a win con.
Honestly, I think old Cloud Drake before they reworked all of the Drakes was into the Souls was just better, where it was like 3%. It was something like 3% move speed or 6% move speed tripled out of combat. And people
It
still
felt
memed it
nice.
as being weak, but it actually just felt really nice.
I think the ultimate cooldown was the best one. Or just felt so nasty.
I mean, it was so hit or miss depending on which champions you had. Oh, but here's a big jump into the bot lane.
Now we get to see the value of Cataclysm into in-mobile champions.
Very strong indeed. Top lane main trying to push that top lane in, but Ornn should be fairly safe just holding it by himself with the Baron minions. Meanwhile, with the 4 members bot lane, and they know Michael Jackson is mid, so this should be actually a free inhib turret right here.
I think they
Uh,
should look for end.
yeah,
I think it's not a problem.
this is a misplay here from Jackson by far. We can see they are looking for the end. Nocturne needs to get back straight away. Tidal Wave is just used as a delaying tactic. That's one turret down already. Flash forwards from In Your Joy. I'm Your Joy. It goes down. Paranoia is used. They are here. They're on the Leona next. Leona is taken down. Suddenly, everything's being traded back. Flag and drag out. Jovi, though, in a really awkward spot, will just buy a little bit of time. Knock up, though. Triple kill. All into the pockets of the Jin. Wait, what is Jin? Is Jin building a Bloodthirster?
Yep. I think it's not that good. It should go rapid fire, especially with the clips.
Yeah. Yeah. Second, I was like, why isn't he building Infinity Edge? But he doesn't actually have the crit yet for it. Ooh, that's awkward. That's 4 pushing mid now. Ryze has been left to handle all of those super minions coming in bot. That should buy him levels. Very nice, of course, on a on an AP champion. Levels tend to scale better with your mages. We'll actually TP up to this mid lane. Looks like Fuji might be going for the counter engage. Jackson jumping into the backside. Tidal Wave only knocks out one. They're trying to put the damage down into the Ornn, but Ornn is such a tanky boy. Jackson goes down. Ornn isn't down yet. Still has not died this game. Jovi going forwards. Flash kicking will go down. And now they have to defend 3v5.
Yeah, Fuji getting a little bit overconfident in the Nocturne.
Yeah, overconfident on the Nocturne. The team couldn't really follow up on it, and
Yeah, they can't
it
follow
might
because
cost them the
A4
game.
held Cataclysm too long. Both carries didn't have flash. They can't walk up. They have to respect his Cataclysm so much.
Yep, the mid lane now just being pushed in. They've got to defend about 20 more seconds. But with only one Nexus turret, it's hard to see how they're going to be able to. Ornn's quite far away. Curtain Call used. NSG actually just going to play this one safe. They're going to back off, head towards this Cloud Drake. Actually taking backs. Back timing on that, not the best, but I mean, you can kind of expect that Fuji aren't going to run straight towards that dragon.
The super minion waves are too slow. I think if they push the bot wave, they can group for Dragon. But Trundle is already on top lane.
Yeah, Trundle's just pushing.
They've already conceded the Dragon. They're just gonna push out the waves, try and survive.
Yep, I mean, it is only a Cloud Soul, definitely one they can give away. They did buy themselves 10 minutes extra before that Soul went over. And not the worst outcome. I mean, it feels like Fuji can't win the 5v5s at this point. They're just sort of looking to stall a fight or get that miracle like pick off and let the Trundle do most of the work. SSD actually doing a lot of trading up here in the top lane. I'm Your Joy coming in as well, and Trundle gonna fall, but how long is he gonna be able to survive? The culling going wide. Jump forwards from I'm Your Joy, and that will be the pick up on the Trundle. Fuji have found Michael Jackson. There's the Cataclysm. Keeping the Nocturne in. There's nowhere he can go. CC layered. GA taken out. 5 members here. And the Nocturne will be taken
Baron.
out. Yeah.
And as soon as NSG pushes the top inhib, it should be unplayable for Fuji.
Yeah, they don't really have great wave clear. They're pretty reliant on the Ryze for their wave clear, and especially when they're Baron minions, Ryze ain't gonna be that good for wave clear. So NSG should be able to just walk this one down now. Jin has that Infinity Edge though, you know. That's finally a big power spike coming in. They gotta try and defend here. They're 14 seconds till the respawn of Nocturne. That's a long time with just one Nexus Tower and Baron minions. The engage comes out. They found Ryze. Ryze is already down. You gotta look towards the Jin. Can the Jin survive and put in the damage? Make Kitsune taken incredibly low, but still alive. Jin is popping off. He's taken out one. They're trying to focus the Nexus. Nexus is being focused and taken out, and NSG will win game one. And yeah, I mean, it was scrappy the whole way. Both teams gave it their all, but in the end, NSG come out with the win in game one. Very strong showing and a good sign for them to challenge for the title of the league at the end. I mean, as I load up the second game, is there anything from that game you would expect to see be banned going into game two? Is there any picks that you think we're not going to see again?
Depends if they're gonna draft the same carries. I think the Jarvan had too much value. They couldn't really move. The Jin, the Rice, they all got caught in the Cataclysm and just died.
Yep. So potentially we're looking at the either more mobile carries or the Jarvan being taken away. In a way, we sort of have that. Let me screen share for you. And then we'll move the game over to game two between NSG Niflheim and Fuji Assassins. So I'm just going to start the game up, but I'll quickly run through the picks. Niflheim have Malphite in the top lane. They have Jarvan jungle again. This time Jovi has LeBlanc mid. I'm Your Joy is on Jinx AD carry, and Tactical is on the Thresh support. Whereas when we look to the other side, Fuji Assassins have Cho'Gath in the top lane. They've got a Kayn in the jungle, a Azir mid lane, and a Twitch Lulu bot lane. So, I mean, is this more what you wanted to see? Do you think that the Azir and Twitch are mobile enough to?
I mean, the Azir is mobile and can't get caught the same way.
Yeah,
But I like the Twitch pick. He's such an underrated ADC. He has so much upfront damage, and people don't know how to play around stealth most of the time.
yeah. So definitely want to keep an eye on. And they do have, if this Twitch does decide to go for the AP variant, there's still a Kayn in the game to provide AD side of Fuji Assassins. Did see an early invade actually coming out here. Looks like the blue might end up being stolen away. Early wards by Fuji. They do know this is going to happen. Looks like Kayn is just going to go to take his red. So we might actually be ending up with a split map early. If we do end up with a split map, who do you think that's going to favour?
I think it destroys the Twitch lane. The Twitch has only problems early game. When it's 60, kind of outskills everything. As long as he has R up.
There we go.
It depends if they look for bot ganks.
More trades coming out in the bot lane so far. So what we expect, Jarvan's just actually clearing away the blue and Grump and then moving over to the other side. We are getting a split map. Does mean we could see some focus towards the top lane as well. It's kind of not to be expected though. Level 2 hit first by the Thresh Jinx, but they're not going to go very aggressive.
Yeah, the Kayn is gonna be happy with this call. Can farm red Kayn on Malphite.
Yep. You see, trying to do the most efficient clearing as possible, clearing multiple camps at once. And Cho'Gath and Azir have the push. So that allows the Kayn to feel very safe. And while there's a ganking mid lane, and knockup goes down onto Keking. The chain's coming out as well. He will flash to be underneath his turret and make sure that he won't be taken out. But that is flash gone from the Azir early. So, somewhat interesting that, you know, the Azir's past level 1 and or level 2. It is level 3 basically, and they managed to get the flash from him. With the shuffle, usually they can get out without having to expend that flash. It does have to expend it. See, Kane actually moves over to the bomb side after taking the first Scuttle Crab on the top. Jarvan not looking to fight for it. No, he is gonna looking to fight for this crab. Michael Jackson actually not going for the crab just yet. Everyone's ignoring the 50 health crab. Lekka now will turn around and just secure it. I suppose the crab isn't worth as much with the XP values being nerfed into the ground, but it's somewhat interesting that, you know, didn't look to finish the crab. Michael Jackson, I think Smite was up, so could have just smited it. Looking for a gank on bot lane, but they're coming in. That's a lot of CC being thrown out. The Polymorph went down onto the Jinx, so she was taken low. Heal is used. That's first blood over to the side of NSG. Michael Jackson now potentially in a lot of trouble. 200 health, trying to turn around, trying to get out of this one. But that's an absolute disaster. At the very least, 2 kills on the Jarvan, not the Jinx.
Yeah, that was such a greedy call. They saw the Jarvan with the red buff on bot side.
They know it
They could
just
have just
taken the
sat
Gromp.
back, waited a minute, and there was a free gank. But
Yeah, they
Leaf
were
were doing a good job of sitting for counter gank.
thankfully, because of the timings of the deaths for them, Twitch isn't going to lose too much. But that will give a sizable gold lead to NSG, and the game 2 actually looking better than game 1 so far for them. It's worth noting, top lane heavily Cho'Gath favoured right now. Somewhat to be expected with the fact that Cho'Gath's E does percent health damage. And most of his damage is magic damage, which of course is not what Malphite's suited to fight against. We'll be back to just a bit of farming. LeBlanc actually doing better with the CSing in the mid lane so far.
Yeah, it's kinda hard to farm when you lose your flash.
Yeah,
Kiching just respecting that Jarvan will look for mid when he doesn't have flash. But it's hard to gank Asir still.
there's actually a fight going down in the jungle right now. Michael Jackson and Lekka. Don't know why Director Karen didn't want to show us that. But they are just trading in. Lekka winning that one quite easily. They're going to give the kill over to Jovi.
Greedy invade from Michael.
Very greedy invade and rightly punished. And the kill on the LeBlanc, it's very worrying. Zeri just putting in a decent chunk of damage. Thanks. They'll make sure this wave crashes into the tower. Just trying to be an annoyance. Not sure why. There we go. Back to top lane. Nice flash away from top lane main. Means that he won't get knocked out by the unstoppable force. He's trying to keep this fight going because he knows Michael Jackson's on the way. There's a lot of damage thrown into the Jarvan. They will get the flash. But overall, a trade flash for flash in the top lane.
And
Jungle.
Malphite are. That's really huge. Lane is unplayable for Malphite now.
Yeah, no on the Malphite. This makes it extremely hard for him to play. Yeah, the way he's standing on the opposite side of the minions from the Cho'Gath, maybe not quite realizing that the spikes from the Cho'Gath E will still go through, will still hit him. Yeah, sometimes you see these small things that can make a lot of difference in these lanes. That poke over time will add up. Will make the lane even harder. Barry and Kitsune actually looking for potentially to kill Joy here. Ultimate is used. Maybe they didn't realize the Twitch was 6. The expunge goes down, and that will be a solo kill picked up in the bottom lane. But oh, a really nice hook into the tower. Shields go down from Make It Tsune, keeping the AD carry alive. But Lekka is here. Polymorph goes out. Make It Tsune using the Glitter Lance to slow down the Jarvan, trying to keep the Twitch alive. The Rat will use the camouflage to get out. Trying to turn on to Make It Tsune now, but surely not going to be able to do anything there. Really well played by the support Lulu there to keep the AD carry alive.
Yeah, the value of Twitch. When he hits 6, he can always have kill threat.
And that's something like that's needed right now to just get, a bit of confidence back onto the team. There's a big difference between seeing a 0 kills on the board and 1 kill on the board. And sometimes you just need that confidence that at least one of your lanes is getting something.
Yeah, must be a relief. And I mean, 30 CS lead on top. Kinda nice to look at.
Yep. Michael Jackson trying to do the duo farm. Black Drag does miss. I think he did manage to pick up the blue buff there. That was some weird interaction, shoved him right outside the Cataclysm. But Make Kitsune a lot of trouble. Will flash back to the tower. Is still alive. The ultimate comes out, but meanwhile Zeri's just been auto-attacking. Sprayed, he prayed, and he got a double. Jovi now looking for a kill onto this Azir. Has Tactical to back him up. It's half damage so far, but Viking just gonna shuffle them away. Jovi actually still looking for this. Flash forwards the distortion. It's not quite enough to take him out yet. He's forced to jump away, but the burn. If that's the red buff or the corrupting pot, but maybe both.
Yeah, had both.
And that's a 6 stack Dark Seal on the LeBlanc as well. That's starting to get a bit scary. Your Twitch might be farmed up, but can definitely be popped. At what point would you be expecting Twitch to be building a Wit's End against this LeBlanc or a more?
If he's scared, he goes his second item, but I think Bork is really good now that they nerfed the lifesteal. You kinda have to build it. So I guess third item?
So, yeah, we might be seeing some early MRB picked up then, considering how strong the LeBlanc is right now. Also, of course, will be very useful against the Malphite, because no matter how down Malphite is, he can always just jump onto your backline and has some very decent base damage values. The CS lead actually for the Jinx, but that will be made up for by the kills, more than made up for. And they should know that Zeri's looking for this. A flash forward from Tactical, but the damage into Joy is just so much. Expunge picks that up. That's a double kill to the Twitch, and it just seems like Joy and Tactical aren't that used to the damage that Twitch Lulu can put out. That's a nice shuffle backwards from Gekking, but he'll just use it to jump across the wall. But with that gone, he's locked into the Cataclysm. Jackson trying to get something back. Jumps forwards into the smite, into the ultimate, so he will get one. But Jovi trading it back, so much damage. Jackson, though. Jovi playing with fire, stepping back, but will pick up the kill. I was not expecting that damage, actually, out from the Kane.
Yeah, fully stacked Conqueror. Does work.
Yep. We haven't really seen much of Cho'Gath, shall we see? He's got 3 minion stacks so far out from his ultimates. Starting to like stack some of that health up for the late game.
Red King coming in from Michael.
Yep, going towards the Red Cane. Generally, in more competitive team environments, that is the best one to go. Definitely provides a lot more in team fights than the Blue Cane tends to do. So yeah, you can see here Joy and Tactical, they don't know where the Twitch is. They know to stand super far back. Tactical at this point, he can't be aggressive. He has to be ready to just lantern his Jinx out. Actually walking back, which is, very risky for Joy to be up quite far. They could just run straight towards with the move speed buff from the Twitch Q and the Lulu W. They could just look for the kill.
Yeah, you can just run them down whenever. He has the Gale Force even to close the gap.
Yep, just feels like right now Tactical has to be standing far enough back that he can lantern the Jinx out to safety. There's no other real way here. They see this camouflage come out, but they're still standing fairly far forwards. Zeri could have looked for something there. Meanwhile, every now and then we get to have a little look back at the, wet noodle top lane. No one's really going to kill anyone up there. They're just farming, Quite classics. Ooh, Michael Jackson running into Lekka, but will dodge away. Actually dies to the chain before his ultimate can fully go off. Ultimate does go on cooldown for that as well, and Michael Jackson, after having a really good game last game, not really finding his footing in this one. It's all to do with that bot lane this time. It's a 10 Dark Seal stack LeBlanc. I mean, in your opinion, as LeBlanc, what do you think you build here? Do you think you upgrade that Dark Seal first, or do you think you finish your Mythic?
Should always finish Ludens. I think it's more damage. Plus, if she finishes Magi's and Twitch opens mid with R, she can just lose everything.
That is true. They're trying to engage again on the bot lane. There's a lot of damage down into Joy. Joy actually stepping forwards. And it looked like Joy tried to sidestep something there, but just stepping back into auto attack range from the Twitch might have killed him. And yeah, at the moment, Michael Jackson doesn't really need to do much. The rest of the team doesn't really need to do much. Just let this Twitch and Lulu get ahead. Keep pressuring. Keep focusing.
Yeah, Fuji definitely outscales this game. Twitch has so much value into Jinx.
So there is a Drake spawning in 30 seconds. First Drake did go over to NSG. They do seem to prioritize these early Drakes. I mean, that does help when you have early game junglers like the Jarvan. Something that can gank into a Drake push. Ethical finds Michael Jackson. He is knocked up, but the Twitch is here. Doing a lot of damage in. They can see the LeBlanc off to the side, so I don't really want to follow up too far. They can see the Ludens has been finished. Top lane main. And SSD still just, farming up. No vision on the Drake or NSG. Lantern goes down, so they know the Drake has been started, but they don't know the health on it. Don't know why we're still looking at top lane. Let's force the camera to come down to the Drake. Tactical going in. The Drake is secured for Fuji Assassins. Tries to flash over the flag and drag, but it's not enough, and Twitch does go down. That's a really big shutdown. Michael Jackson taking one out. Lekka now the target. Keking jumping in. The Shuriman shuffle does miss. And overall, it's a 2-for-1. Oh, but they have found Michael Jackson with the flying drag. 2-for-2, but the Drake does go over to Fuji Assassins. Worth noting, it was a really big shutdown. Oh, adds a double kill for the LeBlanc. And yeah, I think at this point you can pretty securely call that one a win for NSG. They're also going to break this mid lane turret.
Yeah,
Cool.
Seri getting a little bit overconfident, committing too far.
Overconfident.
Blown up.
Yeah. Tried for the hero play of flashing past the flag and drag. Ooh, might be looking for something here again. There is no spray and pray. Ooh, top lane main's behind. Silence coming down. They're just looking for Lekka right now. Jovi jumping in onto Make Kitsune. That's a lot of damage coming down. That's the Lulu assassinated. There's no Lulu now to protect this Twitch. They've got to play it very carefully. Bump goes down. Twitch in camo. Michael Jackson just interrupting backs. Game very close. Less than a 2,000 gold lead right now to NSG. Most of that gold is on the LeBlanc. The champion that can potentially assassinate the Twitch towards the later game. You see Leandri's picked up actually for the Azir. It's not going to be something like the Ludens. It's going to be a bit more of a tank killer. Throw Haven. Yeah, there's been a lot of throwing between these two teams in their games. You know, maybe the games have been so close. Who knows who's going to win this one? Maybe we'll start a poll. Let's start a poll for who's going to win this game. Why not? We'll who win? NSG FJA. There you go, guys. Have like 5 minutes on this poll. Game probably won't end in 5 minutes. There's a lot of damage into Joy, and the poison will take the Jinx down. Flip a coin in champ select. Make sure you vote in chat. Who do you think's gonna win this game? Is it gonna be NSG? Is it gonna be Fuji? Of course, the players, I suppose, know who's going to win, but I mean, the players should probably vote for themselves because they want themselves to win. And players in the chat, don't spoil the actual outcome of the game either. Because yeah, we wanna keep it exciting. Top lane main here is starting to get bigger. That is one chunky Cho. Lekka potentially gonna come in for a gank. The Fimbulvinter being finished on the Cho'Gath means he's incredibly tanky. He's trying to trade this back. Ignite is thrown down. There won't be much healing coming out, but lots of knockups. Jovi is here as well. It's a party in the top lane. 4 men coming down to give the shutdown over to the Thresh. Join out, trading with the Azir in the mid lane. That's 2 turrets going down for that 1 kill in the top lane. Is that worth it? I don't think so. And interesting SSD. I don't think he meant to put a ward under that turret, but I mean, I guess probably most likely a misclick. I should have put bits voting on that poll actually. That would have been more interesting. Then people could spam with bits, not bits even. Channel points. Who wants to use bits to get extra votes? That makes no sense. Zeri is invisible, walking almost into melee range of the Jarvan. Nice sidestep, but there's the unstoppable force. No way to get away now. Lulu trying to keep the AD carry alive, but went too far forwards. The rest of the team is here now, though. Can they protect this Azir? There's no real way to get on. They've got to watch out for the LeBlanc. Top lane main doing the tanking that he can. They're trying to get on to make Kitsune. A really nice shuffle back from Keking will keep his support alive. And the damage coming out from the Azir really big right now. They're throwing what they can in. There's a lot of damage onto the Jarvan. The Lulu just sidestepping everyone to stay alive. Jovi in the back line can't get onto the Lulu. Make Kitsune just with the fancy footwork around all of the everything being thrown towards them. They could do the Baron with these 3 champs. Worth noting, the Twitch and the Kane are on their way back. They will start up the Baron.
Yeah, NSG agrees with the trade. Takes the ocean. Or
Yeah.
maybe not, but...
Oh, maybe they don't realize this is going on. I mean, there's not wards on it, but they should be taking the ocean right now.
Yeah, we should just trade.
There's actually a ping on the map over the ocean drake. They could look for it now. They're still not. They're trying to set up a gank kill as the enemy team moves over. There is a ward in the pit. Both teams looking towards this Drake. It's an ocean. It's only going to be the second Drake for either team. Not that big of a prize. Of course, if you feel like your team can win the team fight here, you're pretty happy to start this up and take a potential fight. Jovi giving away that the rest of the team is waiting. Slight damage poked into Michael Jackson. But the use of the fruit means that he will be able to heal up. Fuji looking for that scuttle crab. Starting up the Drake. They're just pulling it back. Hook doesn't hit onto anyone. The Drake's being taken down and it is secured for the side of Fuji Assassins. It's a nice try with the Jinx ultimate, but they can't get it in the end, and you can see NSG not confident they would win that fight.
Yeah, their confidence dropped after giving shutdown to Azir. Azir is kind of big now.
Yeah, as he has finished those two items, he has the stopwatch as well, which is going to make him very hard to assassinate. With stopwatch up, with ult up, with flash up, it's going to be very hard. Malphite using his cheese wheel to get to safety. I mean, Twitch has the Runans now, so you know, he's at a really strong point in the game. It does look like he's building towards that Bork as a third item. So he will still be able to get bursted out. But he will himself have an insane amount of burst damage. It's another outer taken out. Fuji Assassins using this Baron to push in the top lane right now. They're trying to put the damage down into the Malphite. He has been silenced. He uses the Unstoppable Force to get away. Michael Jackson now in a 1v3 will use his ultimate to get away from the CC. That's a double knock up into a Q, but he can't really do anything except for buy time for his team who have been hitting this top tier turret. They should be able to take this down. The Azir turret is put down. It looks like maybe Fuji Assassin is going to keep trying to push. Hook goes down onto the Cho'Gath, but that's not really going to do anything. Gekking actually getting more damage back with one use of the Sand Soldiers. Fuji Assassin's choosing to back away. You know, it's a 3,000 gold advantage. Not really too much for this point in the game. It's not really much at all. And yeah, we're just waiting to see when the next big team fight's going to break out. When the next proper advantage is going to come through for one of these teams. It really feels like the game is going to be can NSG take out the Azir and the Twitch? Because those are the two members that are going to cause the most trouble, of course. We saw last fight the amount of damage the Azir was putting out wasn't small, and now he's got even more items. And also, interestingly enough, Jovi does almost negative damage to Cho'Gath. Which you can't be feeling too good about if that's your 9-kill LeBlanc.
Yeah, but it's the punishment of building Shadow Flame. It's the snowball, and they got killed in a fight. Just an unlucky snowball moment.
Yep, it's a
We're just gonna
snowball
one-shot the
item.
Twitch.
Needs to one-shot the Twitch, needs to one-shot the Azir, really. Take out as many of this this backline as possible. Even the Lulu surviving can be a really big problem. With the amount of speed ups they can give the team, Cho'Gath can still run down Jinx potentially. The next thing to spawn will be the Baron in about 48 seconds. Because the Drake was taken after, we're going to have a bit of desynced timers here, so we could see a fight breaking out around this Baron, resulting in one team getting both the Baron and the Drake. Or we might see one team try and trade them. It does look right now like Fuji Assassins are going to be going for this Baron on spawn. There is teleports on the top laners. Tactical and Lekka, though, in this bot lane, it looks like they're going to look for a kill on the Cho'Gath. This will give away that the team is nowhere near the Baron. Sure, there's still 10 seconds on the spawn, but it's going to take them a while to work through this Cho'Gath's health bar. As long as he can keep knocking up and slowing, he will keep getting shields. He's taken down, but the Baron is spawned, and Fuji are on it. One kill for the Baron. Not sure that's really the best trade.
Nice Fuji favor, but I guess that's the best they can do. Didn't want to take the fight 4v4.
Yeah, NSG are, they're working towards. They're going to get these second Drake for themselves. At least a bit of a conciliatory prize. And Fuji are now looking towards something in the top lane, or are maybe just gonna get ready to push as a group. Of course, not having the Baron on that Cho'Gath is fairly impactful. It means he can't really push the side lane as effectively by himself. Although it looks like right now Azir is the one who's going to be sent to the side lane. He does have teleport, so he could teleport to a potential fight.
Yeah,
And he does have the
enough
Baron.
to answer anyone on any team.
Yep, and also incredibly slippery with the ultimate with the shuffle, and also got his Zhonya's and flash up. I mean, he's going to be very hard to kill on the side lane. Actually takes a back. I think he just backed for a needlessly large rod with when he had the Baron, which not too advisable. Just using up extra time from your Baron buff. The fact the enemy team can just sort of stand here clearing it means you're not getting much out of it. But Azir has joined up with the rest of the team against a Jinx. Jinx can clear these Baron minions fairly effectively.
Yeah, they're looking to A ramp for some reason. It's fine if they get engaged now.
Yep, so keep a lookout for a big engage. Probably coming from someone like Twitch or Azir. If Azir can get off a really nice shuffle, they could just burst the entire enemy team out. Jovi is off to the side. He's on the wrong side to look for an assassination. Which is hiding around the corner, ready to come in stealth. Here he comes. He's looking for an angle. Not found one. That's a really nice hook onto the Azir, but they're not going to be able to do anything with it. They don't decide just the Azir isn't enough to jump forwards. Joy taking so much damage. Less than half health on the Jinx. NSG probably going to have to give up this tower. Oh, the Jinx is taken incredibly low. Probably just give up the tower at this point. Those Baron Canyons slowly going to work through this tower. Tactical actually managing to keep one of those cannons aggroed on him, saving the tower a bit of health. It goes down onto the Cho'Gath. They pull him in a little bit. Damage thrown down. Ignite thrown on the Cho'Gath as well. Like Fuji, the Barons run out and they're looking to back off. Ooh. Which is camo. Fuji trying to back out. Top lane main off to the side. And so much tension just in these mid lane fights. It just takes one person to pull the trigger, to start that team fight and flip the game. I mean, a full ace for one side here could result in the game ending in either direction. But Fuji just choosing to play it a bit safe, heal themselves up. A minute left on this Ocean Drake. It's not going to be the soul for either team. We'll put one of them on soul point. Michael Jackson looking for Jovi. Won't find him. Fuji this time, they're on the dragon first. They're going to clear out the potential vision. Oh, Hook does go on to make it Tsune, but they're not going to jump over the wall to get him. Didn't know where the rest of the team were. It was a bit too risky, especially just for the support. I'm Your Joy will get that red buff. And there's just trades going down across the wall, blindly thrown without vision, hoping to get some sort of poke. Jovi jumps over the wall for a bit of poke, but, you know, not really amounting to anything. If Jinx felt okay to walk up, could hit that control wood and actually clear it out. Control wood placed for NSG as well, which is hiding off to the side. Will be spotted now. Drake is going low, is taken. Chomped by Cho'Gath. There's no ult on the Cho'Gath. Michael Jackson incredibly low. He's in Jovi's face right now, but Jovi has nothing to finish him off. Top lane main is just tanking up so much. Zeri's looking for an angle to come in, but not found it yet. Malphite's doing really well to hold on to the ultimate, forcing that Twitch to stay back. And yet again, I think really happening. Fuji might be looking for the engage right now. Shirelia's popped. Knock up onto the Malphite. Malphite has to make a choice with the unstoppable force. He will use it to jump away. Jovi jumping into the backline. A lot of damage to Michael Jackson, but could be in trouble. And no one has died yet. And all it takes is one advantage for either team. If one team can get that kill, they can look to convert it into something big. That will be the mid lane inhib turret going down, though. Fuji slowly winning the map. And they will start up the Baron yet again. This will be the third Baron if they get it. Looks like this one might end up being contested. Tactical and SSD looking for it here. But the rest of the team won't be there in time. Baron is picked up. Fuji Assassins just ever so slowly inching forwards in this game.
Yeah, their playing is correct. Get mid prior, take the objective. They have such a good comp.
Yep.
NSG can't just walk into them, so they have to play it slow. And they can just burst down the Baron.
Neither team wants to be the one to pull the trigger first in these team fights. Those big engage ultimates are more just being kept for to make sure the enemy's carries can't move that far forwards. They're more a protection right now than they are an engage. Oh, there's a hook. That's tactical actually going into the backline. Zhonya's comes out from the Azir. Michael Jackson's in the backline, forcing I'm Your Joy to run away. Michael Jackson is taken out though. Lekka goes down to the Twitch. So has Tactical. They have a one-person advantage right now. Jovi's on the backside. Has to look to assassinate someone big. Can't find it. SSD's to the side. Does have the unstoppable force. It looks like they're going to... Fuji Assassins are going to look for an end here. They're putting damage down into this mid lane tower. They have the two Baron Canyons knocking on the doors. That will be the first tower going down. Joy is taking damage from the Azir, from the cannons. And looking for that. That's the unstoppable force going in, but there's no one to follow up. Jovi tries to go onto the Twitch, can't get the kill though, and that's the game. that is the ace. Fuji Assassins will take game 2 against NSG and equal up the score. And what do you think about that game?
It was good. The Shogun had his value of just the weak side top, and the Twitch got to show off.
Yeah, Twitch got to run a
Egoing though.
run a bit of a mock in that game, and yeah, important for the scores here. If I update things, I can actually have a look at where everything currently stands. So Potato Esports have one series left to play. If they want to be able to make playoffs, they need to win it. I'm not sure. I think they might be mathematically out now, but Fuji and Niflheim both confirmed in. Potato Esports confirmed out, I believe. The other three still in contention for those last two spots. So, yeah, we do have another game to come at some point. We do have Girl versus NSG, which should be a banger. By a banger, I mean, it sounds like the first game's going to be incredibly boring, but I've been reliably informed that the second game should be interesting. um, yeah, I mean, those are our games for today. Usually we might get someone in for a bit of a interview, but I think we might skip that today, especially since it's VODs. How did you feel about your first cast, Michael?
It was fine. I didn't talk much, I guess. Didn't know what to say.
Yeah, that can
Need to
happen.
get used to it.
It just takes a bit of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming and casting with me. It helps save my voice a little bit. Which, yeah, not used to talking all the time. But thank you to all the players for playing the game. Thank you to everyone that came and watched. We'll have more games for you very soon. Maybe later tonight, maybe not. Odds. I think we have some live games coming up Saturday, potentially. I mean, it's all there in upcoming matches. Those times might not be right. I'm pretty sure PXA N8 is going to change. And I think CS TFL is going to change as well. But, yep. And thank you all for coming, and see you next time.